Good day, class. Today we will learn two important statistical tools used in almost every field, from science, engineering, business, medicine, and even everyday decision making. These tools are correlation and simple linear regression. Before we start, uh, let me explain what is correlation. Correlation tells us how two variables are related. If one variable increases and the other also increases, it is positive correlation. If one increases and the other decreases, this is negative correlation. If they do not move together, there are no correlation. Think of correlation as measuring the strength and direction of a relationship. We can use a value called R, correlation coefficient, that ranges from -1 to +1. Let's example is R is equals to +1. This is a perfect positive relationship. If R is equals to -1, perfect negative relationship. If R is equals to 0, there are no relationship. Let's apply this in real life. For example, the more hours you study, the higher your test score. Ibig sabihin, yung yung magiging epekto daw ng ah yung magiging epekto daw natin is yun yung dependent variable and yung ating magiging cost, which is independent variable. So binigay nating example, ang independent variable po dito yung hours of study, and yung ating dependent variable, which is effect, yung ating test score. Sunod naman po is, what is simple linear regression? Once we know that two variables are related, the next step is predicting. Simple linear regression creates the best fitting straight line through the data points. This line helps us estimate or predict the value of one variable using the other. We can call the variables x and y, which is yung x is dependent variable, the cost or input. Yung y, the dependent variable. Yung regression line po natin is makukuha po natin yun sa linear equation, yung kagaya ng y is equals to mx plus b, or yung slope, where yung b po natin is yung y-intercept. Yung mx, yun yung ating slope. Kunwari, y is equals to 50 plus 5x. Yung x po natin is study hours. Yung y, yun yung ating score. Then studying 4 hours gives 70 pag sinubstitute po natin yung x as 4. Proceed naman po tayo sa ating introduction. Regression and correlation determine whether a relationship between two or more numerical or quantitative variable exists. Regression is used to describe the nature of the relationship. There are two types of relationships: simple or two variables, and multiple or many variables. The chapter discusses the fundamental principles of linear regression and correlational analysis, including empirical models using linear regression, least square estimation, hypothesis testing, or t-test, and ANOVA, prediction of future observations, residual analysis, coefficient determination, and the correlation model. Proceed naman po tayo sa next slide. Ang ating po intended learning outcomes is nakasulat na po dito. Number 1 is construct empirical models using simple linear regression. Number 2, estimate the parameters in linear regression model using the least square approach. Number 3, test hypothesis on simple linear regression. Number 4, predict future observation using the regression model. Number 5, determine the adequacy of the regression model using residual analysis and coefficient determination. Number 6, apply correlation model. So, let's proceed naman po sa ating next slide, which is empirical models. Many engineering and science problems involve studying how variables relate to each other. While some relationships are exact and predictable, most real-world situations involve uncertainty. Regression analysis helps model and understand this uncertain relationship. Nakalagay po dito yung studies relationships between variables. For example, pressure, temperature, velocity minus area. Some are deterministic. For example, yung distance is equals to initial distance plus velocity times time. But most are non-deterministic. Nakalagay din po dito is regression analysis models and explores non-deterministic relationships. Focus po natin dito yung simple linear regression is isa lang po yung x and isa lang yung y. Then it is used also for prediction, optimization, and process control. Example po natin dito, kunwari sa real life, predicting a student's grade based on study hours. Kaya po ng example natin kanina. Yung predicting house prices. Yung size of house, number of bedrooms, locations. Also, ginagamit din po natin ito for checking the effect of temperature on electricity consumption. Which is, pwede po nating maging independent variable si temperature and yung energy usage po natin yung dependent variable. Next naman po dito tayo sa may table. Kung mapapansin nyo po, meron po tayo ditong 20 samples. Meron po tayo ditong 20 samples na meron po tayo dyan observation number, percentage of hydrocarbons, purity of oxygen. Mag-focus muna po tayo sa percentage of hydrocarbons and the purity of oxygens. There are 20 observations, meaning the experiment was done 20 times. For each observation, the researchers measured how much hydrocarbon was present and then check how pure the oxygen was. Yung independent and dependent variables natin. The percentage of hydrocarbons is the independent variable. We call it independent because it is the value we control or change on purpose. This is the value we put on the x-axis of a graph. The purity of oxygen is the dependent variable because its value depends on the amount of hydrocarbons. So, pansin po natin yung purity of oxygen po natin is nagre-relay po siya sa ano magiging value nito. And proceed po tayo sa yung purpose po ng table and graph po natin. After po i-list ang mga values, makaka-create po tayo ng scatter plot. Ang scatter plot po helps us to visualize all the x and y pairs in one picture and see the relationship between hydrocarbons and oxygen purity. We are checking if the level of hydrocarbons affects the purity of oxygen by plotting the data we can see if higher hydrocarbons lead to higher purity, lower purity, or there's no consistent pattern. So, yung scatter plot po is ipipresent po ni Mr. Mark Gian Talisik.
So, yun po, figure 1, scatter plot diagram showing the purity of oxygen and percentage of hydrocarbon in distillation unit. Now, the scatter plot shows that while no single curve fits all data points exactly, the points appear to cluster around a straight line. Hence, it is reasonable to assume a linear relationship between the mean purity of oxygen Y and the percentage of hydrocarbon X, expressed as expected value of Y given X, or mu Y given X equals A plus B X, where yung A po natin is yung intercept and yung B naman ay yung slope. At tinatawag po silang regression coefficients. So, although the mean of Y varies linearly with X, the actual values of Y do not lie exactly on the line. So, to generalize for this variation, gagamitin po nating formula dito ay Y is equals to A plus BX plus epsilon, where yung epsilon po is random error. Kapag naman po isang yung equation po ay with one independent variable, tinatawag po siyang simple linear regression model. Pero meron din pong times na it is based on theoretical relationship, but kapag wala pong nag-exist, the model is chosen by inspecting the scatter plot, making it an empirical model. So, dito naman po sa figure 2, nagpapakita po ng scatter plot diagram with added trend line with an equation of y equals 75 plus 15x. So, regression modeling linear relationship, the least squares approach. A simple linear regression involves one independent or response variable, y, and one independent regressor or predictor variable, x. It assumes that y varies randomly from each x and that their true relationship is linear. So, yun, kagaya na yung formula po kanina na expected value y given x or mu y given x equals a plus b, where a and b are the intercept and the slope.
So, pinapakita po dito sa table 1 po yung mga summary po ng lahat ng values na ginamit po natin sa regression computations. Kasama po dito yung mga sum, mean, at squared values po ng x and y. Mahalaga po yung mga ito para po makuha po natin yung slope at intercept na bumubuo po sa ating regression equation. So, dito po sa right side, makikita po natin kung paano po nakuha yung regression equation. Una po, kinumpit po natin yung SSXX, tapos po yung SSXY, gamit po yung mga formula, tapos po nakuha po natin yung slope po na 14.94748, tapos po yung intercept na 74.28331. Kaya po yung final po natin na hat y hat ay 74.283 plus 14.947x. Ibig sabihin po bawat dagdag po ng 1 unit sa x, tumataas po yung y ng halos 14.95 units. Sa madaling sabi po, pinapakita po ng equation na may positibong relationship po sa pagitan ng x and y. Dito naman po, kinumpit po natin dito yung residuals of difference, actual at predicted values. Pinag-add po namin yung square ng residuals para po makuha po yung SSE na 21.2498. Tapos po hinati po sa n-2 para po makuha po natin yung sigma squared na 1.1805 na nagpapakita po kung gaano po ka-accurate yung ginawa po natin. Tapos po dito po sa 10.3 correlation, estimating the strength of linear relation. Ang correlation po ay paraan po para po malaman po natin yung reaction po ng dalawang variables at gaano po ito kalakas. Tapos para po makuha po yung correlation coefficient na tinatawag na R, kailangan po natin kunin yung tatlong sum of squares. Ito po, SSXX, SSYY, at SSXY po. Tapos po, pag nakuha na po natin yung tatlo, ginagamit po natin yung formula na R equals sum of square of xy over square root of sum square xx times sum of square yy. Kapag po malapit sa 1 ang R, strong positive relationship po. Tapos po kapag malapit naman po sa negative 1, strong negative po. Kapag malapit naman po sa 0, halos wala po silang relationship sa isa't isa. Dito naman po. After po natin makuha yung SSXY at SSXX, kinuha po natin yung SSXY po. Gamit po yung formula. Nakuha po natin dito yung 10.17744. Ginamit po natin yung formula na correlation coefficient na R sum squares xy over square root of sum of square xx times sum of square yy. At yung result po ng R po natin is 0.9367 na ibig sabihin po ay malakas po yung positive linear relationship nila po ng positive linear relationship po ng dalawang variables po. Ibig sabihin po kapag tumaas po ang x, tumaas din po yung y in very consistent pattern po. Kinuha po din natin yung R squared po na naging 0.774 na nagpakita po na mga 88% ng variation ng y ay naipaliwanag na linear relationship nito sa x. Dito naman po sa 10.4 hypothesis test in simple linear regression. Pinapakita po dito kung paano po natin tinetest kung meaningful talaga ang slope at intercept sa simple linear regression. Para po maging valid po yung mga test na ito, kailangan po natin sundin ng model ang assumption para po sa error term epsilon I. Especially dapat po yung mga errors ay normal, independent, may mean na zero, at may constant po na variable na sigma squared na tinatawag po natin na NID 0, sigma squared. Kapag satisfied po yung assumption po natin na ito, nagiging reliable po yung hypothesis test po natin at confident intervals po. Kaya mas tiyak po natin na susuri ang quality ng regression model. Dito naman po sa 10.4.1, use of t-test, pinapakita po natin dito kung paano natin tinetest kung equal ba sa isang specific value yung slope ng regression line. Para gawin ito, nagseset po tayo ng hypothesis H naught B equals D naught at H1 B is not equal to B naught. Mahalaga po na yung error terms po natin ay normal, independent, may mean na zero, at constant variable. Ayun nga po yung NID na sinasabi po natin. Dahil po dito, normal din po yung distribution ng yi or y sub I at eventually po, pati po ng mga slope ng estimator na lahat na b. Tapos po kapag po normal distribution ni hat b, nagiging valid at reliable po ang t-test po natin para po malaman kung meaningful at significantly different ba yung slope mula sa b naught po. Dahil sa assumption po, nagiging trustworthy po yung test natin kung totoo o hindi ang slope na gusto po natin i-check. Yun lang po. Next presenter po.
So, good morning everyone. I am Clark Walter Casildo and I'll be presenting this slide 10.6 Adequacy of the Regression Model. In regression analysis, it is assumed that the variables with mean zero, constant variance, and normal distribution. The model must also have the correct functional form such as linearity in simple linear regression to verify this assumption and ensure model adequacy, and residual analysis and the coefficient of determination R2 are commonly used. So 10.6.1 Residual analysis. Residual analysis, defined as the difference between observed and fitted values, are used in regression analysis to check model assumptions. By examining histogram or normal probability plots of the residuals, analysts can assess whether the errors are normally distributed, have constant variance, and whether the model might need additional terms. So residual AI equals YY and used to check. So how to check? We are using normality of errors, constant variance, or homoscedasticity, or linearity of the relationship. So our tools of residual analysis is residual plots or predictive values or variables, normal probability plot, and histogram of residuals. So the pattern in residuals are random scatter and interpretation, satisfactory model, funnel shape, non-constant variance, double bow, missing variable or non-linearity. So curve and nonlinear relationship. So 10.6.2 coefficient of determination R2 measures how well the regression model explain the variability in the data. So R2 is equal to SSR over SST. So the range between 0 and 1, for example, for the oxygen purity model is R2 equals 152.13 over 173.38 is equal to 0.877. So the model explained 87.7% of variability. Note that high R2 always a better model, so beware of overfitting. Thank you.